Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 I Am Norwood candidate interview of Norwood Public School Board Trustee candidate Stephanie Machin. Stephanie, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
And just to confirm, did I butcher your name or did I get it right in
You
one
did
take?
not. You got it right. Machin is correct.
I am the man. Okay. All right. So let's jump into it. We have a good amount of questions here. What is motivating you to run for school board? Why are you doing this?
So I'm doing this now. I work in education. I'm
Tell us
actually
about that also once you're done with the first part of the answer.
sure. So why the reason I'm running for the school board is because we have lived in Norwood now for 3.5 years. I have a fifth grader in the school, and I also have a 3-year-old at home.
Okay,
Um,
okay. You're just getting into the mix. Go ahead.
Yep. So we're in this for the long haul here. Um, so I have noticed working in education myself that there has been a lot of turnover at the school since we've been here,
Okay.
which kind of surprised me for it being such a small district. Um, so really, my motivation is to be on the board and try to figure out what might be going on at the school to cause so much turnover with the admin and the teachers. And then to try to kind of help from the inside to restore our school to its former blue ribbon glory.
Okay, okay. And what is your background in education? You said you
So
work.
I am a director of counseling at a Bergen County public school. Um,
Okay,
I've been doing that for 3 years, and before that, I was a guidance counselor for 13 years. So I have, and actually, I've worked in Elizabeth when I was a guidance counselor. So
okay,
I have worked with a wide range of students. I've worked in a few different high school and elementary and middle school buildings while I was in Elizabeth. So I have a lot of a lot of experience in schools, different admin and things like that, um, and kind of a in-depth knowledge of what can happen in an education setting among the adults that work there. So
okay,
I
okay.
can bring that to the to our school board.
Excellent. Now, where did you grow up and attend elementary school and high school?
So I grew up in Central Jersey, which never-ending debate of New Jerseyans whether or not there is a Central Jersey. I believe that there is a Central Jersey.
Huh.
I grew up in New Providence, which is a very small town, about the same size as Norwood.
Okay,
Um, I went to New Providence High School and graduated from there, and to their middle school as well. And right before that, I actually lived in Ohio for a year.
okay, okay. Excellent. And what, if anything, did you take away from your childhood education you see as being applicable today in your both your candidacy and I guess your profession since you're in education?
So, the school that I attended, New Providence High School, is an excellent school. It's generally ranked in New Jersey. Norwood reminded me a lot of New Providence in the size and class sizes being small. And my graduating class was 91 students. So obviously our students go over to NVOT, but I think that having that smaller community feel and smaller class sizes, more personalized attention is really useful at the elementary level, especially. Um, and so I feel grateful that I went to a district like that, that I lived in a small town like that. And that's part of the reason why we came here. I was hoping to recreate that for my kids.
Excellent. And okay, so what do you see as the top three issues facing Norwood Public School? What do you believe is the best way to fix them to benefit the children and the borough's property owners and taxpayers? That question is actually from the townspeople. So
A loaded question. Um,
it's a
so
compound question to be exact in lawyer speak. Go ahead.
I told you not to hit me with any hard questions this late at night.
I'm sure. I'll bring
So,
over some tea if you'd like.
um, so I do believe that hard to know without being in the school, right? Um, My thought from being in education for this long and watching the turnover happen is that we may have a climate issue within the building.
Okay.
Um, but it's hard to sit on the outside and kind of look in and be like, yeah, these are what the issues are from out here.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
which is really like one of the main reasons why I want to be on the school board, so I can try to see what's going on and try to fix those problems from within. Um, so there might be a climate problem. Um, I don't know exactly why our teachers seem to be kind of shuffling out and not staying very long. Um, that's another issue that I'd like to attempt to figure out what's going on there and try to address. Um, I know there's a potential that it could be salary, but everyone's kind of struggling with budget right now. So, at every district, including the one that I work in.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
So,
oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. Sort of related question, but name one thing you'd like to see Norwood Public School put more tax money towards.
Hmm. Um, I think I'd like to see the school expanded and maybe upgraded a little. Personally, I would like to see maybe the school get a little bit larger in size, only so that we could add some classrooms and lower some of the class sizes.
Okay.
Especially since we're bringing back the some of our out of district placements, and so those students who were not previously going to school in our building are now going to be going to school in the building, and obviously they need classrooms to attend. um, so I feel like maybe if we could add on to the building a little bit, um, and create some new classrooms, add on some new classrooms, and then we'd have the ability to lower some of the class sizes that are growing a little bit. The a perfect example is the science classes right now are at 30 students, and 30 students is a lot for a building of our size. So
Okay.
and it's also really difficult for a lab science teacher, I think, to be able to really focus on the students in a class that large. And it's distracting for the students too. So I think that's something that I would love to see some of our money go towards and would be very supportive of.
Okay. Give me one topic of a class or a period you'd like to see added to Norwood Public School and why.
Sorry, you cut out a bit.
Sorry. Uh, Give me the topic of a class or a period that you'd like to see added to Norwood Public School.
Oh, like a new course?
Yeah.
It's a new course I'd like to see added. Maybe some kind of, I know they just added some type of support class, to try to really focus more on, I believe, the math scores.
Okay.
Not that our scores are necessarily bad, but trying to focus on bringing them up a little higher, I guess. Um, I'd actually love to see, being a guidance director myself, I'd love to see an SEL or like a character ed period added in somewhere. Um, Maybe it could be alternated with the support period, like in and out. Like some days they have support, some days they have character ed. Um, I'd love to see something like that in there and a little more focus on SEL based aside from having assemblies. The assemblies are great, but I'd like to see something where the guidance counselor could really kind of interact with the kids a little more. So I think maybe like an SEL or a character ed period would be awesome.
Okay. For village idiots like myself, SEL. Just tell me that in longhand.
Social and emotional learning.
Got it. Okay. Excellent. Um, this is sort of a related question, but would be more for after school activities. Name something you'd like to see added as an enrichment or after school activity, and tell me why.
My son is really into math. So personally, I know we have the robotics club. I'd love to see maybe something else related to that.
Okay.
Um, and maybe like a focus more, they're always looking for more push for female students to do like STEM classes and robotics type things. So maybe like a girls in STEM after school club or something
Okay,
like that.
okay. If you could unilaterally change any one Norwood public school policy that you're aware of with the stroke of a pen, what would it be?
Oh, that's tough. Any
If any,
Norwood?
I don't mean to ask leading questions. I get
Oh
an
no, it's
objection
okay.
in my line of work, but go ahead.
Any Norwood policy? Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. You're a candidate. Other people, yes, from the board for it. So, okay. Let's give you a different one. We have plenty. So, one concern that has been the topic of the town discussion recently, and this is from the feedback I got online when I announced I was doing these,
Mhm.
among Norwood Public School parents, is the lack of sidewalks on Tapan Road for children who walk home along there. Whether county council or school board issue, how do you believe this could most effectively and expeditiously be addressed? Or suffice to say, how would you like to see it be addressed, no matter who addresses it?
How would I like to see it addressed?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that would come through the town, right? But I totally agree that we need, I would love to see sidewalks over there. My son is someone that walks to and from school.
Okay.
So sidewalks onto Pan Road. I'm actually shocked at that we don't have sidewalks on some of these streets or that they don't run the full length of the main road.
That was always a head scratcher for me. I used to do a lot of walking during the pandemic and lived on Japan Road at the time. And I was like,
It's
I don't feel
crazy. Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and like it's a tight road. I do like that Dr. Garage mentioned something about creating like a drop-off lane
Yeah, I
on
heard that. Yeah, that's
that sounds nice. Not that I'm not dropping off anymore right now, but when my little one gets up there eventually. Um, but yeah, I would love to see the town address that. That's a great point. I'd love to have more sidewalks put in, make it a lot easier for the kids.
okay. Um, Here's a hypothetical. And it sounds like since you've done guidance, this might be an interesting one for you. Based on an actual case I had, I'm an attorney. A child is observed bringing a lighter into a classroom.
Mhm.
The teacher tells him or her simply to put it away, but does not confiscate it or put it in their June drawer, as we used to have in my elementary school.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, the same child lights another child's hair on fire with the lighter. The child is then hospitalized and requires a course of psychological care. Break down the issues as you see facing the school thereafter from a
Wow.
liability standpoint.
Oh my. Um, the first piece of it is that the teacher should have removed the lighter right away. Um, so yeah, technically, well, the first piece of it is probably that the student was able to get into school with a lighter, honestly. Not that I'm not sure how you could even address that because it's not like it would come up on even if we put in like metal detectors or something, it wouldn't come up there.
Right.
You're not going to have people searching backpacks at an elementary school.
Right.
Um, so that's probably the first part of like a liability issue is that it even got in, but then yes, that the teacher didn't remove it right away um, is obviously the second part. And then from a school's perspective, you're going to have to handle the fallback from the parents for the student that lit the other student's hair on fire. Psychological, you said they have to go through like a psychological component afterwards. So probably the school's going to be on the hook to pay for whatever they need to do with that, whatever kind of therapy um, the school would probably have to pay for. And going forward, any type of therapy, then that could continue on for years and years.
Right.
So um, quite a bit financial liability for sure. Um, Hopefully not a teacher firing, but I guess there's potential for that, depending. Um, so a decent amount of liability on the school's part for sure.
Okay. I would say that's a fair assessment. Um, so if you had the ability to single-handedly amend, and this is another thing I feel like you'd probably know well from guidance, amend or rewrite New Jersey's mandates as to handling HIB, that's harassment, intimidation, and bullying for the non-school set uh, matters. What would you want to change, if anything?
So they recently changed the HIV laws. So I'm actually the HIV. This is a little unfair. I'm
Oh,
the
right in the
HIV.
wheelhouse. Okay.
I'm the HIV coordinator in my district.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and in the last year, HIB laws are kind of ever changing. They're always adding something to, and I'm sure that you know this too. They're always adding pieces to it as the years go on. Something that I found a little disturbing, honestly, last year, they changed a part of the law. So there's the characteristics that a bullying investigation has to meet in order for it to be considered bullying, in order for it to be considered a founded case. Um, they kind of changed, though. It used to be that in order for it to be a founded bullying case, it had to meet these criteria. All of these criteria, like 6 or 7 criteria, have to be met in order for it to be bullying. Couldn't even be missing one. Now it's kind of changed into you have a you have a possible bully and then you have a possible victim, right? And let's say that something happens and it's a student uses a racially charged word.
Okay.
Let's say it's an elementary age student who's maybe in kindergarten. Um, so the student that uses the word doesn't understand what the word means, doesn't understand how they might be hurting somebody's feelings by using the word. It's their mental and emotional capacity is not there yet to fully understand what it is they just said or the impact it could have on another student. Um, it used to be that when they did the investigation, they would decide, like, hey, the student is in kindergarten. They didn't understand. It hurt this student's feelings, but they would kind of work through it and it wouldn't be a founded bullying case. Now the law has kind of changed in that if the student who is the victim in the case um, feels as though the other student said it on purpose, it's based now on how the victim felt about it.
More subjective now.
Right. It's
Okay.
very subjective, extremely subjective. So how they portrayed it and not necessarily based anymore on whether or not the student meant it or knew what they were saying. So, as a parent, and a parent of younger kids, when I heard that new change to the law, I was concerned because they don't, sometimes students they're just repeating things that they hear. Maybe they shouldn't have heard it, but they're repeating things they hear and sometimes they have no idea what they're saying. Um, and now it's become, well, I felt like they said it on purpose. And so then right there it could be, well, it's a founded bullying case because the victim feels like they did that on purpose. So
Okay. You'd rather see them go back away from that, it sounds like.
yeah, just
Okay.
because like you said, I do feel like it's very subjective. And in the state of New Jersey, if a student has a founded bullying case, it does go on their permanent record. It does follow them all the way up into high school. You could potentially be sending that to colleges when you're sending out your records. Depends on if the college asks for it. But it's kind of scary now. So it's things that kids can do when they're young and they really don't know any better. And, they make like one mistake and now it's like boom on their permanent record following them forever. And then if there's 3 founded cases, which, that obviously indicates that there's probably an issue. But if there's 3 founded cases, then there's a whole other component of having to address like that student specifically and protocol to follow through with that student.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Um, we're going to change up a little bit here. Hmm. I'm going to keep this varied from my last one. Corgi racing. Why,
Corgi racing?
why is this on television?
Probably, I think because it's extremely amusing, very likely. Corgis have tiny little legs. and they can run really fast. So, I mean, it's probably one of those things that you just kind of can't look away from.
I get that is a fair assessment. Have
Yeah.
you watched corgi racing?
I have never actually watched corgi racing, no, but I imagine if it came on TV and I saw it, I probably would stop and watch it.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. So this is about a month and a half away, but the girls here were just starting to talk about costumes today. Did you want to read this one? No? Camera shy? There. So we can see. All right. Number 14. Okay. There we go. Oop, that's good. I'll do the second part when she's done. Go ahead. Did you
Oh,
hear
sorry,
that?
I didn't hear the question.
So, all right.
You have to be a little closer to the mic.
Oh, I should just lean in closer. Try that again. Speak up a little. Act like she's over there, but she can't hear you too well. Courtroom tactics. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I still can't hear you.
Yeah. All right. I thank you for the effort. All right. The question is, what is the strangest item that you ever received in your trick or treat basket on Halloween growing up?
Oh, that's a good question. One year I received a toothbrush.
Ooh,
One
I,
year I received a toothbrush. Yep, that was definitely the strangest one.
I got cough drops or eucalyptus once. That's what provoked the question. That's
That's
really,
that's gross.
yeah.
Gross.
Um, what's more disappointing to receive relatedly in a trick or treat basket, Smarties or Mounds?
So I like both of those. Smarties.
Okay.
I'd rather have
All right. All right. There's a question I accidentally took off my last version of this, but since we still have a decent amount of time, I'm going to ask you another hypothetical.
hmm
Imagine you're at a school board meeting sitting on the dais, and there's a parent that gets up and is adamant that they want to see the dunce cap brought back into use in the classrooms. What would you say to them about that?
Oh, I heard the whole thing except for what they want to bring back into the classroom.
Oh, dunce caps.
Oh, dunce caps. A
Yes.
parent is adamant that they want to bring dunce caps back into the classroom.
What would you say to that? Yep.
Um, I'd say I don't think that's the best route to go in terms of supporting our students' self-esteem um, within the classroom. I don't think dunce caps are the correct route for that.
Fair enough. All right, here's a localized question. If you could move one Northvale pizza place into Norwood to compete with Mario's and Cousins for Norwood's affections, which would you pick? Three Boys, Dante's, Casa Formoso, or Petrillo's?
Dante's.
All right, the newcomer gets a vote. All right, and, and she gives you the
I
thumbs up
see a
too.
thumbs up over there. Yep, I got it.
And what's your thinking with Dante's?
We actually just found Dante's very recently. Um, it's delicious. I'm not a huge Cousins person.
Okay,
Not a Cousins lover. I do like Mario's. Um, but Dante's was I'm a sauce person and I like their sauce.
okay,
Yep.
excellent. All right, here's another random one for you. Name one article or brand of clothing from your youth that you'd like to see make a comeback.
um, they're kind of already making a comeback, so this isn't really fair. But the Adidas like tracksuits,
Timeless classic.
yeah,
Okay.
like the tearaway pants, so comfortable. Um, definitely the Adidas tearaway pants. Yep.
I'm waiting for somebody to say Skids or Cavariccis to bring me back to my youth, but that's good enough.
And someone to say Jinko jeans, but I didn't wear
Bingo.
Jinko jeans,
Ooh,
so I can't answer that.
okay, okay. So now with this, I'm going to turn it to you. The floor is yours for a moment. Anything you'd like to get out there that maybe I didn't ask specifically that you'd like prospective voters to know about?
Um, I would like voters to know that even though I have only been here for 3.5 years. I am very passionate about my children's education and all of the children that go to school in Norwood. I would really like an opportunity to bring my education expertise to the district. And I really would like to make a change for the better in our district, so that all the parents can see some difference in our school.
Okay. Now I just need you to do one more thing. At my prompting, state your name, and then after that, state, and I am Norwood. Go for it.
Stephanie Machin, I am Norwood.
All right, excellent. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you. This was great.
Uh, th- Likewise, have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.